The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Simstrax Broadcasting as we bring you the Doghouse Racing League here on this fine Thursday night. Already out there in the chat, Stellar joining us out there saying, let's see how Doghouse does Pocono. We have seen a couple other leagues try Pocono as well with little to no success. This 2.5-mile track here in the Pocono Mountains is very, very difficult, especially with all three turns being different. Tonight joining me here is Douglas Ross, and talk to me about this track. Some of these drivers really scratching their heads how to get this setup really narrowed down and actually become one of the fastest ones out there on the track.
Most definitely, Patrick, and I can tell you this track is known by one specific name, and that is the Tricky Triangle. And the way they call it the Tricky Triangle is that basically it's really hard to try and make your way around the corners of this racetrack, as well as the long front and back straightaways where it can have numerous amount of room for passing 3, 4, almost 5 wide even. So basically for this, we're going to be seeing a lot of that tonight. So Pocono is definitely going to be a top-suited track for a lot of these drivers.
Qualifying time will be ever so critical here at Poconos. We're taking a look at Nate Orlowski right now, 14th position for him. He's going to have a hard time fighting around these turns, trying to figure out how they're going to get up. But no surprise, Jonathan Jennings taking the pole here. Right now, Andrew St. Coeur sitting second, Justin McMahon is third, Hunter Simpson fourth, and Daniel Wilkerson is fifth. I do like how the conversation we had before about the guys we think who might win and our underdog coming in clutch for some of these guys. It was very, very close. But, boy, I got to admit, the difference in these turns where they're going to end up, how they're going to be able to set up for these turns is going to be critical in every single turn, and not every time they can hit it each time. Sometimes you'll see guys snug toward the wall, ride a little higher into one, ride a little lower into one the next turn, and then it not work out completely in their favor. So let's take a look at our race setup here for tonight with this 103-degree track temperature, which is excellent for the tires. 64 laps, 3 sets of tires in pit, of course 70% fuel limit, and no fast repairs. So that's going to shuffle it up here just a little bit, getting that going on here, and we're taking a look at our beginning line here, and I'm interested to see, you know, how critical is air temperature, Douglas, real quick?
Air temperature is definitely going to be really, really crucial, especially when it comes to the tires. With the track being right now a good 77 degrees, we should be able to see the tires heat up amongst the line of a couple of laps, maybe even about 5 to 6 laps, depending on whether the track wants to heat up more or even decrease. Maybe get a little bit of cloud cover going in there, maybe decrease the temperature a little bit. So the air pressures for these tires are really going to play crucial as well, with depending on the track temperature, because that could play the factor on how these tires wear throughout the entire race, and it could even change up strategy depending on how these drivers handle these cars tonight.
Dude, that is an excellent idea. You know, if you start getting cloud cover, guys having things broken up, and try to get everything, get everything set up, and just, tire pressure will come into play, seeing if there is any sort of cloud cover out there. That is going to be huge here for tonight. But let's get a look here at our starting grid. Right now, getting in the front will be Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Coeur sitting 1 and 2. Justin McMahon and Hunter Simpson, glad to see that number 5 machine returning back to the Doghouse Racing League. Now, of course, Daniel Wilkerson with a top 5 starting on the inside of row number 3, next to Christopher Simon. Simon has a long time coming win. Hopefully, it will be his tonight. Michael Samia will be starting 7th, and Bonomo, got it right this time, Stephen Bonomo actually starting in 8th. Mike Leftwich is 9th, and Nicholas Atwood is rounding out our top 10. Mark Dumont starting in 11th, next to Gary Armijo will be our top 12 drivers. Moving on to the remainder of this field. That is going to be Richard Leclerc starting in 13th, next to Nate Orlowski, which will be 14th. Duke Davis is 15th, Chris Leftwich 16th, and Gary Madu, I don't think, is taking the wheel here, so I may be looking at a total of 16 drivers out onto the track, and there's kind of a little shuffle up here, and some of them, you may start thinking, hey, where's my favorite driver? Some of your favorite drivers, like Gary Clune, Kevin Powell, and Kevin Thompson. We've got 2 guys out of the Twisted Axle Racing team on the track here tonight, but their points leader is still out on the field. Right now, let's take a quick little peek at the championship standings here, as Andrew St. Coeur leads with 13-13 out there. Kevin Thompson sitting with the 1296, Jonathan Jennings with the 1251, Christopher Simon 1200, and Kevin Powell, who is not here tonight, with an 1156. This is going to be huge right now for our 2nd place and 5th place drivers, not here tonight. So some of these guys looking to make a chance to shift around. Wilkerson and Bonomo, I'm guarantee, are going to have their shot here tonight, but they've got to have a solid finish here. So a lot of drivers with many opportunities here, Douglas, and we're getting ready to head this thing under green here in just a moment. Pace car is off, and we're getting locked and loaded here. Douglas, let her rip, buddy.
Thank you, Patrick. Sorry for the interruption. Green flag is in the air, and we are going racing. Of course, it looks like our pole sitter, Andrew St. Coeur, is wasting no time at all grabbing that number 1 spot, but you got to keep an eye on Jonathan Jennings. Will he fall in line, or is he going to try and pass? Yes, he will. Jonathan Jennings wasting no time at all trying to go for that number 1 spot, trying to clear St. Coeur, and it looks like they will go side by side down the back straightaway. Also, a battle for spot number 3 will be between Justin McMahon in the 24 and the 5 car of Hunter Simpson. They will be going side by side, and it looks like Christopher Simon back there will be settling in spot number 5, as it looks like the rest of the field will be straightening out from here.
Yeah, many drivers, you are saying you are correct. Single file, Jonathan Jennings right next to Andrew St. Coeur as we get lap number 1. Outside line not working for Andrew St. Coeur there as he gets loose. Trying to see if he can figure out how to settle that car back down. But does he switch him back up? No, he doesn't. Back down to the bottom, trying to squeeze here ever so close as they fire past the start-finish line. And it looks like Jennings may have led that lap here, but into turn 1, this is going to be the tight one. Right now, St. Coeur has the bottom line, exactly where Jonathan Jennings began to pass him last lap. But Jennings setting back, allowing St. Coeur to get out front, Couple lead laps here for the Canadian in the number 12 Ford, saying if he can get some more time out front, some clean air, it's going to be difficult as the places to pass are minimal. Heading through the tunnel turn here, trying to see where they can squeeze, and you see who's sitting in the back. Hunter Simpson watching all this happen right off the nose of his car, and he's trying to figure out, not just the battle that's happening in front of him, but the one that's happening to the inside of his car. Where does right now Justin McMahon come into play here? Is that 24 Chevrolet, as you see him floating into the screen here, is now going to be causing a little bit of a problem, that Group 6 Chevrolet, as we are riddled here in the top 5 by 3 Chevrolets. The only Ford out there is Andrew St. Coeur, and 1 Toyota there by Christopher Simon. Right now, excellent driving out there by all our drivers. Right now, we're taking a look at the top 4. Christopher Simon is just outside of our screen, as Simon has fallen off by almost 7/10 of a second. Right now, this is great racing here. Unfortunately, it's all in the top 4.
Yes, top 4 looks like they will be starting to settle down a little bit, starting to go straight on the into turn 3. And also following back right behind Christopher Simon, we'll go through some of the other drivers that we're going at right now. Nicholas Atwood in the 19, currently sitting in spot number 6. Then we got Daniel Wilkerson sitting back in spot number 7. Looks like spot number 8 will be Christopher Leftwich. Spot number 9 will be Stephen Bonomo. I actually got it right this time. And Michael Samia will be settling back in spot number 10.
Yeah, Mike Samia actually falling back a little bit here, down 3 spots from where he originally started tonight. Still sitting top 10 so far. Duke Davis, not too bad by the 85 machine. He's on the charge up, gaining 4. But the person who is moving the most out here on the track is Christopher Leftwich, right now gaining 8 positions with his Shoney Chevrolet. Seems to be doing pretty well out there, but I kept starting to question, is early gaining really going to show us anything here? Tires are a big factor here at Pocono, but some of the drivers are saying it's not. I would guess, with a turn that more like a tunnel turn through 2, we've got such a flat turn, like these guys have just raced here at New Hampshire, sitting in 3, as flat as it is, and then at least some decent banking in 1. It's going to be kind of interesting to see if the tires do take effect. But fuel mileage is going to be key here, Douglas, and really, that's where pit strategy is going to come into play. I mean, 110% here to me, that's going to be the make or break for who wins this race here tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Fuel is going to be part of the strategy as well as the tires, but I think fuel, you are right on one thing. Fuel is going to be the major part of the strategy call tonight. Who decides to go in on what lap? We've seen it before. Strategy changes the gameplay of every single race that we have broadcasted in this league. It's definitely going to be a play factor to see who does what.
Yeah, it's not like there's going to be no excitement out here on the track. I will say there may only be 64 laps here at this 2.5-mile track, but about 24 to 25 laps are what guys get on fuel outside of the draft. So right now Jennings leading this race here over top of St. Coeur by about a quarter of a second here. We're watching a little bit of a battle with Orlowski and Mike Leftwich. Leftwich, actually, I wonder if Mike decides sometimes to qualify really bad, because Mike Leftwich actually passes a lot of drivers out on race day. He sits back and lets everybody kind of run their race, and then he picks up the pace much later on in the run, in the stint, exactly like the number 12 Ford we know of, Andrew St. Coeur. Hangs back, lets guys run their race, and then overtakes much later on. But Jennings, with such a commanding run out there, right now through Section 2, running a 27.16 in his Chevrolet, and Andrew St. Coeur through Section 1, running a 26.22. Both those drivers have run their fastest times through their own sections, but it still remains Jennings' race here, as St. Coeur is still behind by about a quarter of a second.
Yeah, definitely it is. You are right on one thing. Andrew St. Coeur right now trying to stay in that draft. He does not want Jonathan Jennings to get too far away and try and lose that gap. But on the straightaways, we can actually see that St. Coeur is closing the gap on Jonathan Jennings, as it looks like he's trying to make a pass on the inside, can't get it done. So it looks like he'll have to try again here on this next straightaway.
Oh yeah, almost like swimming here. Andrew St. Coeur goes right on the outside, gets a quick breath of fresh air, and dives back underwater, sitting behind Jonathan Jennings here. He's going to see if he can get a little bit of a better angle or get some power around him here. Hunter Simpson looks like he's actually getting a little shifty here, getting annoyed right now with Andrew St. Coeur blocking in front of him. Hunter Simpson right now has to worry more about Justin McMahon. McMahon once again putting his card on the table saying, hey, man, I can come out here and run with the best of you guys. But right now, the draft on that front stretch is so key here. I joked around with some of the drivers if they would consider shifting around on the front stretch to break the draft. They said, no, I'm watching it, and the answer is yes. So right now, Jonathan Jennings trying to see if he can figure out how to get away from Andrew St. Coeur to get a breakaway. Because if he can, I think Jonathan Jennings may come away with another win for this season.
Yeah, most definitely. Jonathan Jennings is one guy who is one of the favorites in this league, and also as well as Andrew St. Coeur. But another person that we can't count out, we've seen him in the podium position, I think, the last 2 or 3 races, so correct me if I'm wrong, and that is Justin McMahon. He ended up winning the race at Talladega. Then the last race, he ended up getting another podium position after moving the most spots out of everybody. I think he finished 2nd or 3rd. And here he is right now in spot number 4. So we might even see something out of Justin McMahon tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know it's a long time coming for McMahon. I'm still kind of rooting on Christopher Simon. Unfortunately, Simon is down by almost over 4.5 seconds right now. Got a lot of battling to do with these other drivers. And I would already say that we're probably seeing some tire fall off here. From some drivers, but not from most. Right now, if we take a look at Christopher Simon, his best time is a 54 seconds flat. He's running 54.6, so already half a second dropping off. Jonathan Jennings, his best time is a 53.5, and he's been running at 53.56. So no drop off really for our top 4 drivers. Nicholas Atwood actually picking up the pace here a little bit with a 53.93. Definitely got a little bit of draft there in the 19 Chevrolet that he is running out there tonight. But where do the rest of the other guys come from? And let's try to figure out what we can do. Right now, Tyler Mollett said good luck to his Loud Pedal Racing teammates and friends at Elite Southern. Wish I could be out there tonight from Tyler Mollett, number 4. So right now, Stella out there saying, let's hear those cars. What are you talking about? They should be about as loud as they get out there, aren't they?
Ooh. Patrick, while you were actually talking about that, we had a heated battle almost for the number 2 spot between Hunter Simpson and Andrew St. Coeur. And going down into turn 1, it looks like Simpson may have had a little contact with St. Coeur, as St. Coeur was getting a little bit loose trying to control his car. So Andrew St. Coeur with an amazing save.
Yeah, Andrew St. Coeur, we are taking a look off that right rear mark here, taking to see if we can get a peek off the back. Look at Hunter Simpson, how close he gets. You do see a little bit of a scrape there on the right front fender there from the machine of Hunter Simpson. Simpson trying to see if he can find a gap around him here, and it almost seems like he's setting him up. There's no way he's not going to pass him here, but where are they going to find that opportunity? Where are they going to find the edge? And can Andrew St. Coeur hold him off here as we get a little bit of a chase chopper view here? Following along with the drivers, Hunter Simpson not getting a great angle into one there and falls off pretty bad as Justin McMahon might be looking to attack.
Yeah, most definitely. And going into these corners, it's going to be pretty much on who handles the throttle the best. You could get an amazing run coming off of these corners, depending on how good of throttle control you have. And even just cruising around the corner at the right moment, at the right time, can end up changing the difference between those few little seconds that can matter the most.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hunter Simpson, he was firing off there in turn 1, losing a little bit of position, and he returns back. Tries to come up and makes contact there with the back of Andrew St. Coeur. Right now, strongest turn for Hunter Simpson seems to be turn number 3. He's got Andrew St. Coeur's number if he's able to get a solid run on him. Right now, turn 1 belongs to Andrew St. Coeur as he is able to separate a good bit of distance, but only by about 3 car lengths over top of the number 5. Right now, the 12 of Andrew St. Coeur still sitting second as Jennings is starting to run away with this one. I told you before, and I'll tell you again, if he's able to get away and break that draft, right now Jennings may run away with this one, but we are already seeing a little shuffle up back here as well for the 6th position as Christopher Simon trying to hold off Christopher Leftwich, who is looking for spot number 6. Chris Leftwich is up 9 here so far and trying to continue his charge here toward the front. So let's keep it going here, and we're kind of going to hope to see there's more battling out here in the back as Simon, Leftwich, and Wilkerson are a clutch of 3 drivers right outside the top 5.
Yes, most definitely. And it is actually a very, very long gap all the way back to the number 5 spot. It's actually more of like 5.5 seconds from the 4th and 5th place cars. So right now in that fifth place car, it looks like is Nicholas Atwood in the 19. So he's holding on to spot number 5. But it looks like the top 4 pretty much checked out from the rest of the field.
Yeah, has an excellent job, and it does show you how much time these guys do put in to get faster and faster out there. I got to admit, McMahon actually starting to look like he's not pressing to pass Hunter Simpson, as you see him give Hunter Simpson a shove heading into 3 right now. We're trying to figure out where McMahon wants to be, following along. And yep, once again, they're shifting back and forth down this front stretch. Let's take a ride along with Justin McMahon here and see kind of how he sets up turn 1. Oh, man. Ooh, wow. Hunter Simpson, you see that thing almost float on the front end there. Dug in a little too deep. Man, these guys are loose. Loose is fast, but man, it gotta be careful here, Douglas.
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful, especially through those corners, just to make sure you get the right angle. But Patrick, I'm actually noticing a good pattern between our top 2 drivers, and that is Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Coeur. It looks like Jennings doesn't have a problem getting away from St. Coeur on the front and back straightaways, but going into those corners, St. Coeur is really, really closing the gap. He's just got to make sure he stays on that draft with Jonathan Jennings, just to make sure he doesn't get too far ahead and break the draft.
Yeah, there's still a possibility Andrew St. Coeur may be able to reel him in here. I don't know if a 2-tire call at this track is the best thing that you can do, but St. Coeur's got to figure out how to drum up a little more speed here to see if he can run him down. Right now, that 3-car length area is still prevalent and unable to be kind of squish it down. So now, what do they do? How do they push forward and try to get a little more? Is the car too loose? I think that's where I'm trying to steer this. Is the car too loose for Hunter Simpson to pass Andrew St. Coeur? Is the car tightening up too much for Andrew St. Coeur here to run down Jonathan Jennings? So yeah, what is happening here? Is he going to be able to catch him, or is this going to be where they're at?
I mean, I have a feeling this is pretty much going to be where they're at. It's all depending on if somebody makes a mistake going into the corners. But basically, I could tell you this. The one crucial corner in this whole entire straightaway, or I should say this whole entire track, I should say, the most crucial corner that is actually amongst this entire track, in my opinion, is none other than turn 3, because that is right now the corner that can really, really mess up somebody's momentum. And I'm talking about the corner that they're heading into right now. If you can get a good line and a good throttle control coming off of that corner, you can really, really gain a big, humongous, monumental amount of ground.
Yeah, you were talking about heading into 3. I rotated actually back to Stephen Bonomo back there in the number 9 Toyota. Right now, Mike Samia was putting some moves on him back there in the number 3 Chevrolet, trying to see if he could squeeze him there, but it looks like I think Stephen Bonomo is actually in the number 1 Hooters machine out there. Yeah, he might be a little messed up on that one. He's going to have to see if he can get that one straightened up, but that is A-OK right now. Samia outside line. Samia is actually on the inside here, looking at Bonomo on the outside. I'm trying to see how these guys are mixing it up here as they shift back and forth on the track. Number 3 flying into the bottom line. Look like he's got him here, but can the rotation out, or does he swap it over? This is actually a battle for 9th position. Right now, at least a little digging from these drivers, trying to get a little something going here here in the top 10. Right now, Bonomo trying to take another shot here on the inside, and I don't think he's going to have it. Samia is actually going to overtake and continue on. Let's rotate up front where Christopher Simon sitting 7th, looking for Chris Leftwich. Leftwich actually riding a little higher into the turn than the 27 Shoney's machine, and that may allow Wilkerson to attack here. Can Wilkerson hold it? Yeah, he does. Boy, that is going to be close, but now that's going to put him side by side. And Douglas, these guys are going to fire into one side by side. I'm pretty sure it looks like Wilkerson might have it.
Yeah, most definitely, and it is getting really, really strong. And it looks like Christopher Simon is going to try one more time to try and see if he can pass that machine of Daniel Wilkerson. But Wilkerson right now with a big, humongous run. So Christopher Simon will have to settle back, I think, into spot number 8, I think. So, and back here we also have a battle for the number 9 spot, and that is between Michael Samia and Stephen Bonomo, like you said before. But I want to rotate back up to the second place spot as we got a heated battle going on between Andrew St. Coeur and Hunter Simpson. Simpson tried to make the inside line work, but couldn't get it done. So Andrew St. Coeur will once again settle back into spot number 2.
Right now, we're taking a good look there at Andrew St. Coeur, trying to see if he can keep off Hunter Simpson as we join up with this battle here in the front. I believe Christopher Leftwich is also dealing with a little bit of Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson looking to come back from going down a couple of positions here tonight, but Leftwich has been on a roll. He has gained 10 positions here tonight, and he's not looking to give it up. Next person he'll be looking for is Nicholas Atwood, but he's got to make up about 1.4 seconds out there to see if he can reel him in. But we're actually kind of crunching down a little bit here. In about 5 laps, these guys may be having to come down to pit and try to straighten these cars back out, make the adjustments, so we may see huge changes out here on the track. Will guys end up being faster? Will some get worse? Will some get better? I don't know, because that's all going to depend on what these guys are having the conversations with their crew chiefs now, and down with the pit crew on what adjustments to make. There, it could be as simple as a little bit of air pressure adjustment to the tires. This could be around a wedge, or what they used to have is a wedge in the back, but probably a track bar adjustment, seeing if they can make a shift and pick up a little more speed, or try to free up this car a little bit, because Andrew St. Coeur looks like he's plowing pretty bad out there on the track as Hunter Simpson finally gets him.
Hunter Simpson definitely got the number 2 spot there, as it looks like Andrew St. Coeur had a little bit of contact with the wall, kind of scraped it a little bit. So we're definitely now seeing drivers are definitely battling right now, ill-handling race cars when it comes to the tight side. And you like you said, coming in 5 laps, we're going to be seeing this strategy call that everybody's going to be doing. It might be 5 laps, it may be later. We'll just have to wait and find out. But like I said, race could be depending on who goes on what lap during the strategy.
Yeah, right now, Andrew St. Coeur trying to see if he can get this spot back. It's not looking too good. He's way, way loose. It's kind of interesting. I was talking to Andrew St. Coeur. He's plowing heading into the turn with somebody drafting behind him, but he's super loose when he's behind somebody, so I don't know what kind of adjustment he can make to try to tighten that car up. Back in the old Gen 6 cars, you used to be able to add some tape, but St. Coeur not having any luck here to see if he can slide around the number 5 of Hunter Simpson. Trying to take another peek here with some fresh air at the bottom of turn number 3. He's unable to get it here, and that's going to allow Andrew St. Coeur to fall way back. And remember, Andrew St. Coeur, the king of pit strategy here, is heading his way down pit. So let's see if we can keep this one going as Jennings sitting 1, Hunter Simpson's 2, Andrew St. Coeur waiting for Nicholas Atwood to pass him. There we go. That should tell you how far that distance is, as Atwood is off pace by about 10 seconds here. Christopher Leftwich off by almost 11 and a half, sitting 4th. He's now give him the 12th position gain. But we want to talk a little bit about guys coming down pit. St. Coeur, Wilkerson, Armijo, and Arlowski. Sitting right now 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, waiting for Richard Leclerc to see if he's going to show up. But I think there he is. Right now, Leclerc starting in the 117 Chevrolet. He's now slinging by, but we got a couple guys already working their way out of pit. That'd be an Andrew St. Coeur here trying to get up to speed. Man, this is looking pretty tough here, Douglas, and I don't know if he's going to be able to kind of...
and it looks like our...
squared away.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And it looks like our leader is coming down pit road right now. Jonathan Jennings is on pit road.
All right, Jennings deciding to check on in. That means Hunter Simpson will as well. Looking to see Christopher Simon decides to stay out. Now, I know Simon, he definitely checks out a couple of laps later if he can to get a lead lap. But Nicholas Atwood looks like he's going to be leading this next one unless Atwood decides to come in and try to check off another 5 bonus points. Right now, leading the most laps of this race so far, of course, is Jonathan Jennings in the 91 Caterpillar Chevrolet. But let's see if we got a little battle out here. Is Atwood trying to stay out front? Simon working his way around the number 20 machine there of Gary Armijo. Armijo did come down on pit on lap 21, 15-second stall time for him. So back out he will go. I will be interested, very interested to see where this ends up with Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Coeur. Right now I'm showing these guys very, very close, at least a lot closer than they were as Jennings was actually driving off of this one. But 4 tires, full tank of fuel, what adjustments were made, and did they make any adjustments as we come up on lap 25, and now these guys are going to stretch it out and needing at least one more green flag stop before they can make it to the end.
Yes, if that definitely is the strategy call, they will be at least making one more green flag pit stop at the time, but that will be coming later down in the next probably 25 laps. But like you said, the gap between Andrew St. Coeur and Jonathan Jennings is definitely a lot closer than anticipated, but it's also because Jonathan Jennings, I think, was a lot quicker off of pit road, so he managed to gain a little bit of a head start over Andrew St. Coeur as he was coming off the front straightaway. But right now, it actually looks like that Jonathan Jennings may be battling that car a little bit, maybe getting a little bit loose, because now Andrew St. Coeur is right now really closing the gap on that 91 car.
Oh yeah, well you were talking a little bit about pit, I took a quick little peek at our times. Pit lane time actually for Jennings on lap 22 was 51.87, and Andrew St. Coeur on lap 21, when he had nobody else in pit lane with him, 49.58, so a little bit faster. The reason because actually Andrew St. Coeur was about 0.7 of a second faster in and out of his pit box, and that is paying huge dividends right now, as the last time for Andrew St. Coeur is a 53.41, fastest time he's run here all night. And right now, I'm not seeing anybody else with that kind of speed. Hunter Simpson did it at 53.42 out there, but right now, that number 12 Ford is got to be careful. I'm afraid of him burning his tires off here, trying to see if he can pass Jonathan Jennings before Samia and Gary Madu come down into pit road.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to burn your tires off way too soon. And like you said, Michael Samia and Gary Madu still have yet to pit, and then the pit road cycles will pretty much be finished and done. But right now, we're taking a look. Gary Madu is right now currently going into turn 1 right now, going into turn 2. Definitely a lot slower off the pace, but we definitely got to keep a battle on for the number 1 and 2 spot, because it looks like St. Coeur looks like he's trying to make something happen, just making sure that Jonathan Jennings does not get too far ahead of him. And he was all over that back bumper of Jennings, maybe just giving him a signal like, hello, I'm here. And just right now, going down the back straightaway, it looks like St. Coeur will be trying to make something happen on the inside.
Yeah, taking a look actually while this battle was going on, I believe we got an issue down there with Mark Dumont in the 114 Ford. I don't know if he has run out of fuel. Right now, it shows him, between turn 2 and 3, he has taken the tow. I believe the number 114 machine has run out of fuel. It happens. I appreciate the opportunity or the try there to try to push forward and see if he can run, how far he can run before he ran out of steam. But I believe the 114 heading down in the pit road, assisted by another vehicle. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm trying to see if anything else is going on out there in the chat. Timmy's saying, see if you can get a little close to the microphone. He says you sound like R2-D2. Go on, Douglas. Stop being a robot. All right. And out there in the chat as well, looking to see, K-Doggy was saying, good luck, boys, out there. And Andrew Smith was asking if I still do Graceland. No, I do not. We made a separation for the better, if you ask me, where we could try to get things squared away. If you're looking to join any of the other leagues that I broadcast as well, dude, man, we are right now Racing Revolution on Wednesdays, and of course the Doghouse Racing League on Thursdays. Once a month we do run the big show, and that of course is a money race down there. $700 was the pot last time around, so definitely an interesting race. Douglas, I believe you have taken part in probably about a couple handfuls of those and actually come away with a win.
Yep, I did come away with a win. That was back at at Talladega. I forget what the name of the race was, so refresh my memory if you don't mind.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you? Dude,
of course.
Man, it wasn't the memorial race, was it? Good Lord, it's been so long I can't remember.
That's something to do with the NFL. Don't know at the top of my head.
Yeah, taking a look out there, and Andrew Smith saying I agree, happy for you, appreciate it, bud. Definitely, hopefully you guys find better things going on. Maybe things can get squared away, or come to our senses a little bit. But right now, Andrew St. Coeur trying to come to his senses, trying to figure out what he can do to pass Jonathan Jennings here. Even if St. Coeur doesn't win this race here, Douglas, you've got to look at the distance these two drivers have put on the rest of the field. We thought Hunter Simpson and McMahon may have something for him, and each of them were off by 3, if not between 3 and 6 seconds off pace. And these two are almost only less than a half a second between each other.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Hunter Simpson right now, I think the only chance he's going to have is probably within a... I'm not going to say it because every single time I say it, I jinx it, but it begins with the letter C. Every single time one of those happens, it can change the name of the game. So I'm not saying it this time because I'm not going to jinx this race like I did the others.
Oh, yeah. Man, what I would love to see is the driver Kevin Thompson out there. I would like to see him return back out there along with Gary Clune. I know Andrew St. Coeur would love to have some help out here from the Twisted Axle Racing team, but that is A-OK. I believe a couple of guys are on vacation. Kevin Thompson is out of power, unfortunately. I am so glad I am not out of power. Our driveway is under about 3 feet of water, so that is looking pretty rough here in the southeastern states. But this is looking pretty good as we hit lap 30 here in Pocono. Appreciate you guys saying doing a great broadcast in there, Kevin Thompson. Definitely couldn't do it without Douglas Ross here in the booth with me. This is some wild racing we're finding out here on the track. So a lot of drivers trying to figure out where they can come into play. I hate saying I would love to see a caution, but man, I miss that side-by-side racing that these guys can do. And how do you do it in an open setup league where some guys are just, they've got it. You know, they show up to a track and this is their track. This is where they can be, where they can capitalize, and where they're fast. I mean, man, how do you get something like that?
Basically, it's just, especially when it comes to an open setup league, basically the only thing it is practice. You practice by yourself or you practice with your teammates. You practice on strategy. It's just all about practice, and I think that's what pretty much Jonathan Jennings, Andrew St. Coeur, and a lot of these other drivers on the track are currently probably in the process of is practicing, because they know that the week's race is coming up, and an open setup league, every single one of these cars is different when it comes to open setups. So really just seeing what all these cars do, just handling wise, speed wise, it really changes the difference of the race.
I'm trying to figure out what happened out there actually with Chris Leftwich. It seems he came down pit and had to visit it a second time, and he has not returned back to the track. Number 13 down and out here. Mark Dumont and Leclerc are down pit as well. I don't know if the 117 machine is having to visit a second time. He is already working his way out of pit. 32 seconds down there. That's going to put the 117 a few laps behind here, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Chris Leftwich out there. Last time we saw Chris Leftwich was back on lap 24 down pit road. So maybe he'll be able to come back out.
Yeah, right now Leftwich is on pit road.
Yeah, right now I'm looking to see if anybody, no one's taken it to the garage yet. So that's A-OK. I like to see Atwood and Bonomo out here still racing. They are down a lap though, but now maybe this will be, I would count, if this were me, this is a teaching moment. You know, when to pit, when not to pit. I know he is a brand new driver out there with the Elite Southern Motorsports team. Moving on into a fantastic team. I've got to admit, the ones they have here are amazing out there with Loud Pedal Racing, the Elite Southern Motorsports team, and the Twisted Axle Racing team, just to name a few. These guys are so fantastic at doing what they do out here. And I'm not knocking the Shoney's Racing team. These guys do a fantastic job as well. I would love to see them be able to figure out how to clump up like these other guys do. Right now, their best driver out there is Christopher Simon, who is right now sitting 5th in that 27 Toyota. Not too bad, but still fighting along here, about 23 seconds behind. And you kind of wish you had some help out there. When these guys are clumped together, it may be something. But right now, I think we might have another sneak attack here from Andrew St. Coeur trying to battle for the lead, as he is less than a quarter of a second off Jonathan Jennings. Does St. Coeur maybe have a setup fix now?
Probably most definitely does, or maybe he even found a line that he prefers more, that he knows that he can run and Jonathan Jennings maybe can't. So maybe a different line on the track maybe could have played a difference.
I would wonder if Andrew St. Coeur would consider only 2 tires. If either that or if Hunter Simpson only took 2 tires to flip the script here in this next pit stop. I mean, these guys last pit on lap 22. So if they wish to do it again, between 44 and 47 is going to be their mark. And then they're going to have to really squeeze it to the end. That'd be boy, remember we were talking about underdogs. I think you called Jennings to win it, and I called St. Coeur to win it. And then our underdogs were Hunter Simpson and Justin McMahon. So right now, 1 through 4, we're doing pretty well up here in the booth.
Yep. Now we just need a couple $100 bills, and then we'll have ourselves a winner.
Oh man, here we go. Now he's willing to put money on it.
or actually, I tell you what, I'll bet one of those whole strawberry pies from Shoney's. One of these days, I will get my hands on one of those pies.
Strawberry pie. I love it. All right, we do want to give a shout out there for our sponsors, Shoney's and the Next Level Racing. They definitely make some great sims out there. I've seen a lot of videos of guys getting the Next Level Racing. Some of them are actually compact. They are compatible with any system that you guys run. You can modify them, put butt kicker systems or any kind of earthquake system on it. For a shaker, you'll mount most of your direct drive wheels or belt-driven wheels, whichever you prefer. Any kind of shifter. Thrustmaster, Logitech, anything that you can think of, you can mount to those Next Level Racing sim rigs. So I gotta admit, probably want to line up for one of those kits and get squared away. That way everything looks fantastic and you get more of the feel, and it doesn't just feel like a video game. Some people do race on a controller, but a lot more people, I believe, want to get a lot more in-depth. Definitely getting a wheel, pedals, and a shifter out there, and you definitely feel the ride. Changes the entire way you you consider how you drive the cars out here, and that's kind of what you feel, man. And that's what Next Level Racing can do. Justin McMahon sitting 4th right now in the 24 Chevrolet. You're looking to see if he's going to get something going on here. McMahon actually falling off a little bit. His best time with a 53.55, and now he's running a 54.90. So he's about to hit that 55 mark, kind of slowing down a good bit here on the track, looking to see if he's going to make up some ground. I don't know if he's having a problem out of his car. He did pit back on lap 20, much earlier than everybody else. St. Coeur, I thought, was the one who pit the earliest there on 21, he was joined and accompanied there with Daniel Wilkerson and Nate Orlowski and Gary Armijo. But McMahon was the only one to come down on lap 20, so he is way, way early on his pit mark. Douglas, how do you offset that? I mean, if he's off cycle, does he have to stick it out there even longer and lose more time, or is he going to have to pit again and hope for a caution to catch up?
It really all depends. I mean, I would say that he would probably maybe have to pit again and just hope to God for a caution, but I could be dead wrong. I think it's really all depending on what his strategy is.
Yeah, we're going to have to hope he can kind of pick up the pace here. McMahon actually dropping down into 4th. Still sitting 4th. He originally started in that 3rd position, but so far almost unchanged here in the top at least 7 drivers. Jennings started 1st, is 1st. Andrew St. Coeur started 2nd, is 2nd. Hunter Simpson and Justin McMahon swapped spots as they were 3rd and 4th. Christopher Simon and Daniel Wilkerson, they swapped spots. They were 5 and 6. And Michael Samia started 7th and remains 7th. Now, here's where the changeup happens, is Nate Orlowski, with excellent pit strategy, has moved up 6 positions as well as his driving, moving him up to 8th, up 8 positions is there Gary Madu, who I thought originally wasn't racing here tonight. It showed him not on the track. Maybe have been starting from pit. He is up 8 positions, setting 9th, and Mike Leftwich. He has lost a position. He started 9th, but still a top 10 run for him out here tonight. Can he continue his run and be fast? We'll have to see. As this one has already broken over halfway point, and this is kind of boiling down to kind of all Jonathan Jennings race here.
Yeah, Jonathan Jennings definitely is right now having a smile on his face right now, as he is really, really expanded that lead. That's almost 1.1 second lead away from Andrew St. Coeur. So right now, I thought St. Coeur may have had the line that he wanted, but now it looks like he's falling back. So maybe the tires are starting to come into play, and as of right now, I think we're about maybe 10 laps away from the next green flag pit stop cycle. So these guys are just going to have to stick it out. But right now, it looks like Andrew St. Coeur may have to make another adjustment.
Yeah, right now, Timmy Ray out there is saying he might have the idea fix here for Hunter Simpson out there. He's asking him to change the tires to put some air in the tire, probably another 10 pounds on the right front. I would probably consider the same thing, seeing if he can get this thing to rotate. I don't know if he's able to get any more speed. I used to play around with ride height, get it just before you contact the ground, give it another couple clicks up, and try to get the air to go over me instead of under, and I would end up being able to draft so much easier than the other drivers. But at Pocono, it is not as smooth as it looks from our angle. It's pretty bumpy out there, and right now you see Hunter Simpson. Man, it looks like the rear end of that car is starting to walk around on him. So right now, Hunter Simpson back on lap 22. And it's kind of starting to wind down a little bit as he is halfway through lap 40. He's coming up on that quick mark here. 44 will be exactly identical to when he pit, and we're going to see if that can do it for him here. As Hunter Simpson remains in third place. He is 7 seconds off pace. McMahon sitting about 14 seconds off pace, and Christopher Simon almost 26 seconds off pace. Jonathan Jennings putting on an absolute clinic here at Pocono. This is impressive. The amount of time that Jonathan Jennings puts into this race and the setting up of the cars along with the help, but it is all about to be washed away as we are under caution. Justin McMahon is our man who brought out the flag we haven't seen all night.
Yeah, I'm going back to the replay right now. I have a feeling it is what it is. Yeah, it looks like Justin McMahon may have gotten a little bit loose, and he just got loose on the front straightaway.
Boy, now I've talked to Jacob Reeves about this before, about that car just snapping back with it being more of a rack and pinion steering. It's just hard to get that car turned the right way. Looks like he might have stalled it out as well. Not a good look here for Justin McMahon. I want to give it another look and see what exactly happens here. If the back end just steps out, yeah, he tried to save it. And you can definitely see as he's saving it when he's got the car turned here, the steering wheel position he has. Let me see if we can kind of get an angle here. There we go. You see the wheel? See him trying to counter steer it? And right as he does that, look at the snap. And away he goes. Yeah, and there's no recovering. You can't come back from that. Man. That's a bummer here, so I would question how many guys. This has got to be time to pit. Pace car lights are on. Drivers down pit now. Duke Davis, Mark Dumont, and Chris Leftwich still down there. Over 8 minutes for at least Duke Davis. Dumont has been down there 15 and a half, and Chris Leftwich has been down there almost 18. So they may be down and out here of this race. Justin McMahon only lost a couple of positions here as he brings out the caution. I don't know if he's going to be able to retain some of those spots, but he's trying to get up close to Daniel Wilkerson, see if he can gain a spot here. And as bad as these tires are wearing off, Justin McMahon, remember I was saying he last pit on lap 20. So he had the oldest tires out here, and I think that came back and bit him here right on the exit there of 3.
Now you have to wonder, is this going to be probably the money stop? Because we might not see another caution after this, so this might be the final pit stop of the whole entire race. So we'll just have to see what kind of strategies comes out of this.
Yeah, they will have enough fuel though. They've definitely been able to make it between 24 and 25, one more caution lap or two before they head back out. But that is going to be huge. I was thinking Andrew St. Coeur might do another 2-tire stop to switch it up. I think it's suicide if he doesn't take 4. He's got to take 4 tires here and square that car away. There's no way you can risk allowing Jonathan Jennings to get away on a tire strategy here. Some of these guys in the back, I would like to see, Madhu or Mike Leftwich take a 2-tire stop and try. That would be an excellent run. But it looks like our 1, 2, and 3 are going to be unchanged. And Christopher Simon with a fast time here, 4th. Wilkerson, 5th. And McMahon, extended time in the box. 25 seconds in the box for Justin McMahon. He goes from 4th to the caution where he was in 6th, now down to 10th. Boy, that's still, yes, a top 10, but no, not a good pit stall time, as he may have been fixing a little bit of that damage from the contact with the wall.
Yeah, most definitely. Not a good pit stop for Justin McMahon, so it looks like he's going to have to try and regain the ground that he lost. I think it may have been only about 3 positions that he lost, but that could be very, very crucial. So looks like Justin McMahon will have to come back from, it looks like it might be spot number 10. But definitely some good movers throughout that whole entire pit stop strategy, and it looks like one that played out in his favor was Christopher Simon in the 27.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be about 20 laps to go when we get back under green. We'll head to a commercial here in just a moment, and then we'll come back and hopefully see these guys back under green flag. The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Welcome back, everybody, to Pocono Raceway. We are finishing up the last caution flag lap here of the night. Justin McMahon with a slight spin out there back on lap 41 has brought out the only caution that we have seen tonight. 18 laps to go when we get to the line. This has been just about all of Jonathan Jennings' race here at the Doghouse Racing League. Pace car lights are out. Jennings, St. Coeur, Hunter Simpson, Christopher Simon, and Daniel Wilkerson to round out our top 5. Finishing it off for the top 10 will be Mike Smear, Gary Madu, Mike Leftwich, Justin McMahon, and Nate Orlowski. Right now, not too bad from some of our drivers here. Having a good time out there, but now this levels the playing field. Andrew St. Coeur may have made the adjustment, and so has Hunter Simpson, to come up with a different concoction of an idea to overcome Jonathan Jennings' speed out here. He's got the tire wear factor under control. He's got the fuel under control. He's got the angle, as it's so hard to pass here. As they're saying, there are multiple grooves that these guys can take. And Douglas, talk to me, man. Is this now time to strike?
Yeah, I think definitely now is going to be the time to strike, and because I have a feeling now with this being probably the one and only caution, because I have a feeling that this is going to be the only one. I think really the only thing that Andrew St. Coeur and the others can do if Jonathan Jennings ends up getting into the lead, you're just going to have to follow his line and just hope he makes a mistake.
Alrighty, Barney's got the green flag out, and away we go. Jennings has a great jump here, and he'll be heading into one almost solo, but can Andrew St. Coeur run him down here? It looks like he almost got caught sleeping on the restart, but he's going to sit back a little bit. Christopher Simon, he pushes very, very hard on new restarts and new tires, but can he flow through the turn? Oh, man, that's what I was nervous of. There's going to be a little problem coming out of that turn as they shoot down to turn number 2. That tunnel turn is going to be the make or break of somebody's night tonight here, as you get very loose heading through the tunnel turn, and Hunter Simpson sliding on through. Not too bad. He secures third, and that means Jennings, St. Coeur, Hunter Simpson, Christopher Simon comment down here, but as I say that, battle for the lead. St. Coeur flying on the inside, seeing if he can push the 91 toward the wall. Love the angle here, and we're going to shoot down to the front row. Let's take a chase cam behind. Now it looks like St. Coeur cutting off Hunter Simpson. Simpson started using a little bit of a line here, gathering up that aerodynamic bubble, tried to close the gap, and St. Coeur with a smart move, cutting it off. So Jennings still remains in the lead. Andrew St. Coeur did second, and Hunter Simpson still sitting back waiting to strike.
Yep, Hunter Simpson is right now probably trying to wait for the right opportunistic moment just to try and see if these two up front are going to battle side by side and make a mistake. Wait for his opportunistic moment. But right now, Hunter Simpson will right now settle into spot number 3, just watching these two in front of him do battle. So I think Hunter Simpson is just going to wait right now and wait for the right moment to strike.
Interesting to see that the kind of the racing strategies have flip-flopped. Normally it was Jennings had the solid turn 3 here, and Andrew St. Coeur with a 1. But right now, St. Coeur is actually picking up the pace through 3, and Jonathan Jennings may be capitalizing in 1. So here we go, diving into turn 1. Can Andrew St. Coeur get him here? As they're only separated by about a car length and a half. Hunter Simpson much closer than that in the number 5 Chevrolet. So we are broken apart here with 2 Chevrolets and a Ford. Andrew St. Coeur's Ford trying to see if he can get something going here. But the Caterpillar machine in the front has been the one to beat. Can they find any kind of an angle here with Andrew St. Coeur? 16 to go. Not too shabby, as Andrew St. Coeur had a little bit of a racing incident in the last race there, I believe, with Kevin Powell. So Andrew St. Coeur trying to boomerang back from a dismal run there, but hopefully he'll be able to get at least a top 3 during this stint. Now, moving on back where Justin McMahon has come from 10th. And now sitting 6th. Mike Samia will be next on his list, looking for spot number 5. Daniel Wilkerson following along with the same angle here. Not too bad, as it looks like Samia trying to push him up the track. Love the idea. That's exactly what I would have done. Samia almost going up and giving him a little door tap there to get McMahon out of sorts, but McMahon too strong outside line. That's going to put McMahon into 5th, Samia 6th. Now Daniel Wilkerson will remain 7th. Madu is 8th, Erlowski is 9th, and Gary Armijo, not too bad by the 20 Toyota out there, 10th place where he sits.
Yes, most definitely. You did mention Justin McMahon. He is no stranger when it comes to comebacks. He has done it once before, and it looks like he's on a mission to do it again. So it looks like Justin McMahon will right now settle back into spot number 5, trying to gain on the number 4 spot directly ahead of him, which is Christopher Simon. So right now, as the laps are ticking by, it looks like the top 3 are right now starting to heat up, trying to make something happen because we are running out of time.
You do mention laps, 14 to go. Definitely something these guys have got to start considering how they're going to overcome this. That means less than 28 miles before these guys run out of room here. Mike Samia having to cut off Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson might be getting a run here as he slides toward the inside. Right now, the Reese PC 78 Chevrolet on the inside. Away he goes, trying to see if he can keep it all in one piece. Right now, Wilkerson followed along. Now we're 3 wide. Here we go. Mike Samia trying to push on through. Looks like a 63 machine of Gary Madu, who started in the very back of this pack, moving up to 7th position as he flies on around Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson loose, almost makes contact with the wall, and no can do. Wilkerson going to have to step back, re-engage and see if he can get his spot back. Rotating back up front, the fastest driver on the track with a 53.29 is Justin McMahon. He is coming on strong right now, trying to see if he can get Christopher Simon. If Justin McMahon can pass Christopher Simon, he will resume back his position that he had before the caution.
Yes, most definitely. Justin McMahon right now is the man on a mission. He is right now hungry after that spin causing the caution. But right now, the question that we have to ask is, will Justin McMahon have enough time to get to the top 3?
Yeah, I would love to see McMahon and Hunter Simpson go at it again, still trying to see if he's got any more speed. I would say Jonathan Jennings, about a few laps ago, put his fastest time on the track down with a 53.40. Now it's going to be a 53.39, and we've got guys wrecking here in the back. I think Gary Madu may be in it. Oh, man. Drivers still have, I believe, one set of tires down in pit. So there might be an option for somebody to switch it up here. Let's go back and figure out what happened. Looks like Gary Madu may have been the one into the wall. Let's take a look from the top side. Him and Mike Samia. Oh, no. Samia's running out of real estate here. Boy, and Wilkerson, get out of there. Whoa.
Ooh, yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah, you see the contact here. 3's now out of control sliding, but I don't know if Samia was trying to get him back out of the way there.
He was just bumping off of his car like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a ride along here with Mike Samia and see what he sees. I've got to know. Let's see if we can find more of a cockpit view here.
Yeah, we could see he was trying to maintain control of the car, but it was just getting so loose he couldn't maintain it.
Boy, that's going to shuffle some things up. No drivers have decided to come down pit yet. They're still rocking their way around the track. This may be kind of a questionable area. Can they come up with any sort of anything here for Jonathan Jennings? Nothing yet. As Andrew St. Coeur took a peek a couple of times, might actually switch up the field pretty wild here if everybody except Jonathan pits. But that would have to be a huge undertaking if everybody is on the same thought process here. Jennings has been fast all night. Right now, being the only one contesting him here is Andrew St. Coeur, which is right now in his league on this track. But we, if you count, probably 8 to go when we get back under green here. Andrew St. Coeur. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, no! No! No!
Yep.
Some drivers did come down. McMahon coming down and Mike Samia coming down. No way.
I'm pretty sure Justin McMahon was not expecting that.
But the amount of positions he's going to lose. He was sitting 4th. Now he'll have fresh tires and possibly be sitting 8th. And everybody's clumped back together. This could be actually an excellent move here for Justin McMahon. Yo, yeah, dude, this would be awesome. This would be Douglas. This would be awesome, dude. If this something's getting ready to shuffle up on this.
Yeah, but now the question is, with Justin McMahon right now, he's gonna be pretty far back. The question is, with these new tires, even if he does just try to get to the front, I mean, the question is, will he have enough time?
8 laps. And he was when he did get his fresh tires, one of the fastest guys out there on the track. He has actually laid down the fastest time with a 53.29. So, not too bad.
it looks like from here, it looks like he'll be restarting in 8th. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes.
Gutsy call, but I love it. I would have loved to seen Andrew St. Coeur and Daniel Wilkerson join that group. I think that would have been even crazier because those are a couple of guys in some really pivotal areas. But man, this is it's gonna get dicey again. But I would wonder if any of these guys here in the front are thinking, now we got a bunch of guys who are really fast behind us. Do they consider doing the same? So it looks like nobody else is going to take advantage. Mike Leftwich down there for about 1:25 might be fixing some damage. Working his way out of pit. Nicholas Atwood. A little extended time down pit. And I believe we might have our first driver who's taking it to the garage, Richard Leclerc, in the 117 Chevrolet. That is not all of our field here. A couple of them are racing around the track trying to get caught back up. We'll try to see if they can get them clumped back into the front. Unfortunately, at least 3 drivers still down pit. Duke Davis, Mark DeMont, and Chris Leftwich. Leclerc
looks like
yeah, go ahead.
Looks like Nicholas Atwood will get back on the lead lap. He was the lucky dog under that, so he'll get back on the lead lap.
Ooh. Kind of gives you that extra boost of confidence as I'm not going to finish this race a lap down. And now you get to come up here and play with the big boys on the lead lap. Got to say sometimes just pit strategy or a different angle, or if you got in some trouble, you end up some laps down. A couple of drivers still trying to catch up to this pack. Mike Leftwich and Nicholas Atwood. They got to hurry up here. There they are.
So it looks like we'll get ready to go back to green flag action. So the question is, what will Justin McMahon do? He's got to pass at least 7 cars. We got to see how this goes because this is going to be interesting.
Dude, I can't tell you how much I love this strategy. Lap 54 is when Justin McMahon came in. Everybody else came in on 43. So right now McMahon will be surrounded by Mike Samia. And these two guys are going to go at it. Right now McMahon is going to get away. Let's see if he can get a couple turns before those tires start tacking up. But Jonathan Jennings is going to have the hammer down and see if he can pull away because they'll have some fast cars that are sitting behind him. Right now already some trouble in front of McMahon. McMahon sliding behind Samia here. And there it is. Look at the difference. Oh, man. And Samia also one of the drivers who took some tires when he came down pit. So what does McMahon do? Is McMahon had a heck of a run here. Let's get up to the front where Jennings and St. Coeur are. St. Coeur falling off already by a quarter of a second. Jennings picking up the pace. Boy, this, man, that definitely takes the wind out of your sails. Andrew St. Coeur definitely trying to see if he can get the glazing off the tires here and run him down. St. Coeur taking it higher. Right now, seeing if he can get a little something going on. Jonathan Jennings. Jennings on the bottom. Triangulate the turn for St. Coeur. No, can't seem to get any more extra speed out of that. But St. Coeur has got to get the draft here on Jonathan Jennings. There we go. Nice part. Nice move. Jennings, huge block. Right now, Andrew St. Coeur almost got his nose cut off there. As we got a quick blink out of Hunter Simpson. I'm sure he had to blink again and can't believe these two didn't make contact. Wow, that was close. Right now, St. Coeur really kind of beside himself, noticing what happened. So St. Coeur knows Jennings is nervous. Jennings does not want him passing him here. And Andrew St. Coeur had his number on that run. So can he get him in the next lap? We'll have to see. Not too bad as we take a look at McMahon. Finally gets around Mike Samia here for 8th place to battle back up to the front. McMahon's tires not kicking in like he had hoped. Or at least I had hoped here in the booth. But let's keep an eye on Andrew St. Coeur. Following along, looks like Jonathan Jennings yet again. 1, 2, 3, here it comes. Little more speed out of St. Coeur. Not going to have him this time. Not as close as it was last lap. Six laps left to go here, Douglas. This is getting pretty tight.
It is getting pretty tight indeed going down into turn 2. It looks like St. Coeur will have a little bit of a run going down the back straightaway here, but it looks like it's not going to have enough ground as, like I said, Jonathan Jennings is right now getting him on the straightaways. But once again, going down into here, it looks like Jennings that time will have the better run as he gains a little bit of ground ahead of St. Coeur. And right behind St. Coeur, it looks like Hunter Simpson is starting to lose a little bit of ground on second place.
Yep. He's fallen off by about half a second, rotating back to McMahon. He's now got 7th, looking for Gary Armijo next. Gary Armijo can't miss him there in the number 20 Toyota. That's exactly what he was looking for. Armijo actually helping him out here, making contact there with the wall. McMahon has to check up just a hair to see if he can find a safe way around him, but he's got to hurry up. Still 5 laps left to go. McMahon going to need a huge run here to see if he can fly through. He does. Right now, 20 machine into the wall. Armijo from 6th to 10th hits the wall. That's a bummer. Right now, St. Coeur still chasing along, but as we were talking about Hunter Simpson being so slow, he is now posting the fastest times. 53:29 here in the last lap. 27 seconds flat between turn 2, 3, and the finish line. Right now, he is on a roll. Something might be happening. I would wonder if actually Hunter Simpson is sandbagging this one a little bit, seeing if he can open it up here a little later on, about 3 to go.
Yes, most definitely. Hunter Simpson is right now running the fastest lap of the race, and it looks like the second fastest lap of the race, I think, belongs to Andrew St. Coeur. So right now, Jonathan Jennings may be leading, but he is right now not the fastest car on the field, so he is going to have to really try and pull a rabbit out of a hat. But it looks like as they cross the finish line now, it looks like Jennings now will have a little bit of advantage ahead of St. Coeur. Jennings right now at a 53.38. St. Coeur at a 53.44.
Yep. Kind of slice back and forth. Drivers trying to figure out where they place here on the track. Taking a ride along here with Hunter Simpson as they come through the tunnel turn, seeing if they can chase him down now. Where does he land? Heading into 3. It looks like Hunter Simpson gives a little nudge to the wall here. I got to admit, you got to want to have a fantastic angle coming into 3, as 3 can be ever so tricky. Hunter Simpson trying to follow along. St. Coeur almost attached to Jonathan Jennings like glue here, not able to get around him, but Jennings just so fast. Can't seem to get out and away from St. Coeur, as St. Coeur might have him here. I bet you, I wonder, I was thinking maybe the pit stop might work out really well. McMahon actually picking up the pace there a little bit, or everybody else is slowing down as he's going to catch Christopher Simon here in just a moment. Simon might be in some trouble as McMahon still on a tear here, trying to run him down.
Yeah, Justin McMahon just at least trying to gain as many spots as he can, as it looks like he will catch the 27 of Christopher Simon, who is sitting in spot number 5. McMahon right now trying to work down to the inside of Christopher Simon. McMahon right now with a big run on the inside. May end up clearing him, but it looks like he won't. So those two are going side-by-side battle for spot number 5. Simon having the advantage on the outside, and he'll have a little bit of the edge, but Justin McMahon is right now just trying his best to gain as many spots as he can.
Yeah, getting a little bit of an edge is McMahon. As you can see, Daniel Wilkerson sticks out to the side. He was actually in front of the 27 machine and then lends the draft to the 24. That allows McMahon to slide in front. New tires paying off. Right now, McMahon now to 5th. Got a couple more spots to go. Right now, the tires are just really working to his advantage. About 9 laps here fresher they are, but only 2 to go. McMahon outside of Wilkerson now, as Wilkerson helped him. Now McMahon's going to take over 5th. That may put Wilkerson for a top 5, but I guarantee you Christopher Simon's going to be looking for his spot in the top 5 as long as he can get a 2-for-1 here. Simon decides not to, sticks with Wilkerson. These two now 1, 2, and 3, sitting 4, 5, and 6 as they head into 1 with the white flag out. Andrew St. Coeur has got to do something here if he wants to catch him, but he's a quarter of a second behind and not looking like he's going to be able to catch him here in the very last few turns.
Yeah, it looks like the gap is starting to gain a little bit of ground. I think if Andrew St. Coeur wants to make something happen, he's going to probably have to make it happen in the turn 4 sort of sake. But basically right now, it looks like going down in this part of the section, it looks like he might have something happen, but I think he's going to run out of time. Looks like St. Coeur right now trying to make a dive bomb happen, but it's not going to work. He's not going to have enough time. And coming down the front straightaway, your winner will be Jonathan Jennings.
Yeah, not too bad there from Jonathan Jennings. Give it to St. Coeur, kind of giving it the full send move, trying to see if he can squeak on through, but unable to do it. Jennings, St. Coeur, and Hunter Simpson sitting 1, 2, and 3. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Many drivers trying to get that one underway. St. Coeur almost had him. McMahon battled back up for fourth. Phew. Now the four-tire call and the strategy was able to gain him 4 more places to return back. Top 5, all Chevrolets except St. Coeur's Ford, who was second. Let's see some of those, some of the stats here, where everybody placed here tonight. See if you can find your favorite driver. I see Catalina out there. It's Miss Salas saying, let's go, Christopher Simon. Simon almost had a top 5 there. Just trying to see if he could run down Daniel Wilkerson, but was unable to finish the job. All right, Jennings finishing up the final run here. And we should be able to see him come up for quick picture time, and then that may do it. You know, Douglas, I ever wondered, does burning out get old?
I don't think it ever will.
Oh, man. Well, we could probably, I would love to ask a few extra, other drivers like Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Richard Petty, the guys, Jeff Gordon. That'd be cool. When you win so much, what is it like, Does it ever get old?
Yeah.
But, man, a win's a
Right.
win, and they make it happen. Guys, hold on just a moment. We're going to reel in some of our drivers, and let's have a conversation, see how this one went. All right, everybody, finally catching up with our third place finisher here. Hunter Simpson in the 5 Chevrolet. Man, what a great run here tonight. You gained at least one position tonight, but man, just unable to get over top of Andrew St. Coeur. Talk to me about the run here tonight.
It was a fun race. It was a mix of fun and frustrating due to how the draft and how everything worked with the aerodynamics of the car. If you got outside of 4/10 of whoever you was behind trying to catch, you had no draft and you was done for. So on that first run, I lost the draft and was just trying to hold on, and the cautions at the end. I was hoping for a better finish, but I was also trying to help out John, my teammate, get a good result.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got to admit, were you happy that the cautions came out?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, it probably gave me a better chance of getting a better finish, but then again, it also gives someone else a better chance of getting a better position on me too. So it's a double-edged sword.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely like it when you guys are able to clump back up. It kind of throws the eggshell back in the mix. You don't know quite exactly what's going to happen, but it's definitely not going to be good. Hunter Simpson, we are definitely winding down here in the season. Talk to me about kind of your outlook here toward the end. How do we get you back in and behind the wheel some more?
I've just been super busy with all these race cars I deal with, man. It's I'm trying to get my real life professional racing career going. So I've had to take some time away from putting in all the time that I need to with Cup, but I'm trying to get back into it, and I hope to be here as much as possible.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming back out and joining us, man. It definitely it's tough, man. Life gets in the way, but we appreciate you coming out and joining us each time, man. This is really a real treat to see the number 5 Chevrolet return back to the track here at Pocono. Shout out time for you.
I want to thank all the admins that work effortlessly, well, include myself, on making sure this is the best league possible. It's an amazing league with great people in it. Daniel, I want to thank him for being such a great owner. You guys for the broadcast and all my teammates. It's a blast to race with them, and I wish I was able to race more because the races are so much fun, and I try to get a good result for them tonight.
Oh yeah, well definitely it's a lot, very professional. You know, you guys, if there's a caution, there's a reason why it happened. It wasn't a head scratcher at how we got to that point. Hunter Simpson, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and hopefully we'll see you soon, my man.
Yes, sir. And one last thing, congrats to John on the win. I'm very happy he was able to get it. But I'll see y'all soon.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, I was gonna say he's thanking Jonathan Jennings, but did you see how that dude drove? Holy cow! Well, let's talk to somebody else. Douglas, I think you've caught up with our 2nd place finisher here tonight, and man, did he have a drive here tonight.
And indeed, Patrick, he did have a drive tonight. I'm standing by with Andrew St. Coeur. And Andrew, first I want to start off by saying congratulations on your podium finish tonight. But 2nd place, you were really, really close, but just not enough to catch up to Jonathan Jennings. I mean, what do you think could have been a difference in this whole entire thing?
Yeah, he had a heck of a race. It's so hard here to gap anybody, just with the way you draft and so on. A couple things that really, I would say weren't in my favor, and I struggled with it the whole race, and I was really, really tight through the tunnel turn with the dirty air. And then there were a couple times where I felt like I could set up to go low, whether it be off of 1 because I felt like I was getting through 1 a little bit better. But him having a teammate in 3rd place, I knew if I duck low, I'd be giving away the 2nd place spot. And really, he was going to have to make a mistake for me to get by him. I just don't think I had enough to do it. So, I mean, that's just the nature of the beast here with this car and this tire model and in the draft, the way it works. But anyway, I'm still pleased with the 2nd. Strong run for sure.
It definitely looked like that Jonathan Jennings had to have made a mistake in order for some momentum to happen. But do you think like maybe changing like the line around the track would have played a different factor? I mean, I probably seen a couple of guys tonight try to find the best line possible. Did you pretty much find the best line, or was it just like a whole entire factor just trying to find the best line possible?
A couple different lines you can run. Typically through 1, I like to kind of go in a little bit shallower. I know some people like to arc in a little bit later. I know Jonathan ahead of me was going in a little bit later, taking a wider arc and kind of halfway up the track. But I couldn't do that because of the dirty air. I had to keep a nose under him to make the turn work. I think there was more speed in the line he was running, but thankfully I was able to stay with him for most of the run. I say most of the run because he would start to gap me before pit stops and whatnot, simply because I was running that lower line and scrubbing too much. I was putting too much on my right front on exit, getting on throttle too soon. I was hurting my right front, which was killing me on the long run. So, and that's just that's a byproduct of that dirty air. So like I say, there wasn't a whole lot I could do there. And through 3, three's kind of fun. I like 3. Three's probably the funnest turn for me because you can kind of shoot in low, and the car handled really well if I went low. Gave me a pretty good run off. But if you really wanted to, if you saw your leader, let's say if Jonathan had gone low, I could have shot around the outside, which I think you probably saw a couple times. I tried to go to the wall and try to get on throttle quicker, but he was just too good through the corners. But I was so conscious of trying to dip out, and even side draft would have pulled him back to me, and that's something I easily could have attempted. But once I did that, I knew Hunter was going to suck up and he was going to push him, not me, and I would have dropped back. So it just wasn't worth losing the spot.
You were definitely very, very close. I can tell you that. Andrew, give us your shout outs.
Yeah, thanks for the broadcast. Thanks to Daniel and the admins and the fellow racers here. Congrats to Jonathan on the win. I'm disappointed that didn't have a couple teammates with me there tonight. Unfortunately Kevin had some power issues and couldn't make it at the last minute. So and then for all the viewers out there. So and Gary as well. Gary's on vacation this week. So thank you very much.
And that will do it for Andrew St. Coeur. He is our second place finisher tonight. And Patrick, I will take it to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going ahead and see if Andrew St. Coeur can come back next week, man. He was definitely kicking butt out there tonight here at Pocono. Just wish he had some of his teammates to join him. Andrew St. Coeur, appreciate you, my man, and we will catch up with him next week. But that is going to go ahead and chase down Jonathan Jennings, our race winner here tonight. Right now in that 91 Chevrolet, making a great attempt at trying to regain the points lead here tonight. You were started tonight behind by 62 points off the lead. Talk to me about it here.
Yeah, I can't afford to lose any more points. I've been finishing good, but St. Coeur has been there too, so it's hard to make up points when we're both finishing up front, and I just can't afford to lose.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely a lead lap out there for you and leading the most. We've also got, Andrew St. Coeur. I think he was actually able to squeak out another, and we'll have to see kind of how the points boil down. But you actually missed a race earlier on in this season, and now you've regained the most wins of this season. But we've only got, I believe we got only about 3 races left here. How do we, kind of in the slew of races we got coming up, how do we, keep our head down and continue pushing forward?
Just don't give up and put myself in position to win them when I can and try to gain the points where I can.
All right. Well, I was going to say, out of the 3 races we've got coming up, and I'll try to keep it short here, John. We have Michigan, Watkins Glen, and then we finish off at Daytona. Daytona, to me, could be a toss-up. Where do you end up when you got 2 super speedways and then a road course up next?
I have no idea. The one that I can control the most would be Watkins Glen. I got to do good there, and hopefully Michigan, and then it's basically going to come down to Daytona.
All right. One other fantastic race put by you. Andrew St. Coeur was all over your rear bumper today, and you were only able to shake him loose a couple of times. But after pit stops, you guys are clumped back together. You clumped back together during cautions. Any doubt in your mind this one was going to be a loss?
Yeah, I had some issues there. I lost all my sound, and I started blinking apparently. But I got it fixed while we were under caution, so luckily.
Alrighty, man. Dude, shout out time.
You guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for the putting these things on every week. My teammates, of course. All the sponsors, Shoney's and Next Level, and a special shout out to Justin McMahon and his wife on the birth of their little boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard that went really well. Alrighty, Jonathan Jennings, appreciate you joining us here tonight, and hopefully we'll see you and your brother take on Michigan next week.
Yep, should be fun.
Oh, yeah. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for us tonight. Jonathan Jennings having... he'll have some battles outside of racing already. Douglas, give me your final thoughts here on this run.
Tricky Triangle definitely played factors in today's race, but it looks like Jonathan Jennings managed to pick up yet another win. This guy is right now on a roll. But moving on to the next race, which you said was Michigan, that can definitely play a factor in the point standings.
Another 2-mile track. A lot of guys seem to hang out toward the top. And once again, now we have setups. Do they take the top? Do they take the bottom? Do some try to run that middle line? And I would expect to see some of these teams clump back together. And really, once you start getting more super speedways, it starts bringing drivers out of the woodwork. I can definitely expect to see the Twisted Axle Racing team return at full strength and ready to take on the Elite Southern Motorsports team and Loud Pedal Racing. But from all of us here at the Simtrax Broadcast, appreciate you joining us here tonight. We will catch you next Thursday at Michigan. So be well, be safe, be kind. We'll catch all you guys next time.